twice a world medalist. Max Whitlock in fourth. He got the bronze at the Olympics, don't forget. Seligman, Kohai Kamiyama, Corel Baron, very experienced. Never really made his mark. And then finally, Petrov. So let's go over to the commentary box. Mitch Fenner, Chris Still, and Lewis Smith.
And here we are, just waiting for the start of this pommel horse final. And the gymnasts have no warm-up in the arena here before they start. They've been in earlier today, but since the vault and the floor's gone, they haven't had another chance on this apparatus. There's a warm-up gym out the back, so they come into the bright lights, and it can be quite daunting, Mitch.
Certainly can, but this man is quite used to it. He's a world champion and World Cup champion. From Tiao Zhang, beg his pardon, Zhang and Chao. First up. Beautifully extended swing, look at that, and the spindle keeps the shape. Very fast hands in the Russian on one handle. Good leg separation, look at this, smooth in the handstand. Undercut down. And this really is, this is an opener, and it's a very impressive opener. Zivano. Wu Travel lost his legs a little bit there. But now in the triple Russian, he's back on song. The Magyar. Good style, good swing. Can he keep the fluidity? He does. Fluid it was. Well done indeed.
Well, that certainly puts the pressure on the others, doesn't it? What were you saying, Lewis, about if you work out first and perform well, puts fear in their hearts?
That was an unbelievable routine. I'm shaking watching. I'm probably not the best to be commentating right now. But his shape, the way he circles, his style is very unique. You know, much like Zhao Qin, who used to be like in China. You know, they've got this sheer handstand, toes constantly pointed, a little bit of form breaking the top. His dismount, you know, nails it. I mean, you can see how happy he is.
Who wouldn't be? You would be.
Unbelievable.
Ever been first up in a major, Lewis?
I've been first up a few times. It's you feel quite a powerful position to be in, because if you put in a good routine, you're going to intimidate the rest of the field.
And there we have it, the score of 15.6. So every gymnast from now on will have to be exceptional.
Exceptional, I'm not sure, but Alberto Busnari is certainly different. Innovative. And he's been around a long time. Well in his 30s now. Take a look at this, the way he's put this exercise together. Nice and secure on the one hand. Very pedestrian so far. Up he goes. Now that's a big pause in that handstand. That's his own move, that Busnari, but really a little bit of strength used there. He really needs to be more fluid, but let's see how the judges treat it. Flares predominating here. Is it over yet? Answer? No. He carries on. More flares. He's changed the nature of pommel horse. There we go. Zivano. Now he's up. Oh, and that's a big pause before the dismount. Well, Busnari, it was different, but there were problems.
Well, he posted a massive start score of 7.1 in qualification. So if they credit everything, that gives him quite an advantage.
I mean, it is a very unique type of routine. I think he is going to be penalised quite a lot in terms of how much he breaks the swing of the actual pommel horse routine. We saw a little bit of good one handle, and then here, you know, you see him pausing the swing, and pommel horse is all about, you know, keeping the movement flowing. So it'll be interesting to see what the judges do with the score. But down to the little things, you can see his toes are crossed over. You know, these are deductions that the judges are going to pick up on.
En ook in Tokio op het WK van 2011 zat hij in de finale.
Every deduction with this man, surely though, Lewis, that was a lift to handstand.
I mean, it's debatable whether the judges will actually give the dismount, because he shows him coming back down in a different direction, so he'll have a little nervous wait.
I was going to say, I think his face says it all. He wasn't totally convinced himself as he landed, was he? There wasn't that instantaneous cheer.
And they gave it, they were kind.
And that 7-1 gives him a score of 15.6, puts him into the lead.
Same score to share the lead. I really would put a question mark over that. Prashant Shulatharai, and nobody swings as fast as this little guy. He is amazing. Tiny, he's under 5 foot tall, but he looks so long when he's swinging. There was a pause in the handstand. Now watch the speed. Skips around the triple. Look at that on one handle, going so quickly. Beautiful. Oh, and he clonked the horse and he's walking away. What a disappointment for him, but looks so good, Lewis, doesn't it?
He does indeed. And he really does fly around the pommel. I mean, that is a very difficult skill, the spindle between the handles, and to clear that surface area of the pommel horse, you need to circle as fast as him.
Well, he's paced around it a couple of times, got his composure. He's going to have another go. There's that spindle this time. Not in the middle, but he did it well. Look at the trap. I'll tell you what, he's going to take off. Look at this. This is his trademark. Fast, clean swinging. What a pity he came to grief in the middle. And a lovely handstand sequence as well. Well, it's tough at the top.
I mean, when you're packing in so much difficulty, it is hard to stay on the pommel horse, and when it comes down to it, you know, the ones that go through the routine are normally the ones that win the medals. So you can see, you know, he has a slight error there after the Wu travel into the triple Russian. But when he picks up, I mean, he's got elevation over the handles like no one I've ever seen. There's the pause and the sheer handstand will be deducted there. 3 to 5 tenths. So that's unfortunate for Prashant.
The only Australian gymnasts we've seen here, men or women, actually. And a great shame he didn't manage to harness his best routine there. See how tiny he is, can't you?
He has to be massively disappointed.
I think he will be.
You can see Max Whitlock and his coach Scott Hahn there just preparing the apparatus. Like you said the other day, Lewis, this is the nervous moment.
I think we should see him play with the handles a little bit.
Vincent Reimering there, D1 judge. He has to make the big decisions.
When the gymnasts fall during a move, one of the big questions is, do you credit the move? Have they completed it? Did they not? So when the routine goes through easily, it's much more straightforward for the judges. Here we got the score, 14.033, down with a 7-4 for execution. Paid the price of those mistakes. Max Whitlock, ready to perform.
Sheer half with travel, done nice and safely. Russians on the handle, safely negotiated now. Long way to go. This is a good, smooth, steady start. Here's the Bujnari. He keeps the swing back into the flare, and that spindle is so difficult to set up, but he survives it. Not quite there through the spindle. Come on. Stretch. Okay, through the woo. Into the triple Russian. Now then. He's in handstand. He keeps the swing. And a little flourish at the end. Max Whitlock. Sit down, Lewis.
Oh. Wow. Wow, this is intense. I can't do this.
Now you know what it's like.
Oh, Max. I mean, he went through from start to finish. There was one iffy moment in there. You know, he's done a big routine in a big final. He'll be happy.
He certainly looks happy, and so do the team.
Oh, I'm still catching my breath. So he's on the one handle. This is the triple Russian. This is the G value. Very clean. Back into the middle. This was the Bujnari. He cuts back in, and this is where he clips the pommel, where there can be deduction up to 3 to 5 tenths for hitting the apparatus. And then he skews coming back out, but then finishes off nicely. Here's the dismount. Oh no, back on the Bujnari. They look similar until they get off the pommel. There's a little bit of loss of form. He picked up nice, and there's the relief. That face is a picture. Every gymnast has that. Well done, Max.
Well, there were two performances there, one from Lewis and one from Max.
Well, he went for the big routine. He said he was going to at the beginning, and he did. Here we go.
Yes.
15.633 into the lead. Massive difficulty of 7.2. What a moment.
Brilliant stuff. Come on, Lewis. What does that feel like?
Well deserved.
So Max Whitlock in the lead, 15.633 to beat him. Robert Seligman from Croatia puffs his cheeks out.
27 years old, and he's following Max Whitlock's terrific routine. Well, that's lovely. He really did stay stretched. And again, through the spindle. Lovely shape he's working in. It'll be difficulty that keeps him down. Look at that, hips well forward. Lovely line. This is superb. Very nifty through the triple Russian. Precise with the hand placement, very little skewing. Travel back in the Savaldo. Triple Russian into the dismount, and that really was a clean old routine.
Yeah, I mean, I've competed for a long time against Robert Seligman. I think that's probably the best routine I've ever seen him perform. I think that will get him, up there with the scores. I'm not sure about whether it will beat Max or not. It really was a polished performance.
Look at that extension, Lewis, at the front of the sword.
I mean, it was very impressive from start to finish. You didn't see him do any Wendy circles on the one handle, but all the work he did on the leather, I mean, it was so stretched, so beautiful.
So his execution score, his E-score should be right up there. That's where the judges take marks away from the 10. So if you can get into the 9s for execution, you're doing pretty well, and he should, I think, for that.
I mean, the only thing he lacks on is difficulty. So what he lacks on with there, he'll make up for with his execution score.
Well, he was a bit down in difficulty in qualifying. What here, Mitch, do you think?
I think it wasn't that much more difficult. I mean, Lewis wasn't that impressed with difficulty.
And there we go, just a 6.4 difficulty, giving him a 15.433 fourth place.
Lovely clean work from Seligman. Go hey. Come Kamiyama. And traditionally, the Japanese not brilliant on this apparatus. They tend to swing a little bit tight, but every now and again there comes an exception to that rule. Clean, rhythmic handstand to start with. And another. Almost lost body shape, but did very well to control it. Very secure on one handle. Nice Russian to complete the combination there. Triple Russian in the middle, that's not easy. And that travelled directly over the far pommel, that was difficult as well. This is good work. Kamiyama keeps the style. Did he clip the horse then? There's the handstand. It was fluid, it was difficult, and it will challenge.
I mean, that is a good contention for Max's routine. I mean, it was neat, it was tidy, it was start to finish. It was a brilliant routine. Lots of difficulty. He had 2 sheer handstands. I mean, it really was. And you've got the stretch circle here on the one handle, performing the stocky elements. Showing great control on the handle, leaving himself enough space. I mean, it really was a great, polished routine as well.
That's the big question, the difference in polish to difficulty, isn't it? If you can marry both together, then you're onto a winner.
Good to see the Japanese swinging the horse so well.
It is. I mean, normally they've been quite skewed in the past and quite tight, as you said. But he is. He's very different to... Maybe he's some of the new breed coming up.
Well, they think it's worth a medal. Oh, he's done it.
Oh, it's a big score.
Yes, a big difficulty score, and he takes the lead just inches ahead. Wow, 15.833.
Kamiyama then takes over from Max in pole position, 15.833. Max Whitlock in second silver position at the moment. Daniel Corot-Baron, and very, very promising young gymnast he was. And he faded a little, but he's back here in a pommel horse final 3 years later. Picks up the swing nicely. Again, those extended hips at the front. Very comfortable through the stocky elements on the one handle. There's. Did he complete the Russian? Lewis will tell us later. Into the spindle. Keeps the swing going. Fast hands. Shoulders and feet moving together, keeping the rhythm. Magyar, Cevado, up and down the horse. Oh, and that's the delay he didn't want. Corot-Baron, still impressive.
I mean, apart from the dismount, I think he'll be very happy with that routine. Just shot himself in the foot a little bit, but I think it'll definitely be up there with the medals. Great routine, great difficulty.
Chris, you and I go back a long way. Have you ever seen a Mexican in contention for a pommel horse medal?
I was just about to say that. Very unusual to see Mexico performing so well on the pommel horse floor sometimes.
I mean, he swung great, you know, from start to finish, and he's got a great extension, much like Robert Seligman. There's the woo, using the handles, and he's only young, so he's got a bright future, this guy.
He's 23, isn't he?
And there's the dismount. As he stutters a little bit, the judges could either take 5 attempts, 3, or in some cases may not even give the dismount. We'll see.
Well, second place, 15.633. They're really pushing the scores here, these guys. So, in fact, a joint second with Max Whitlock.
We'll have to see whether there's a tiebreaker. They'll go to execution score.
Final gymnast.
Matvey. I have to apologise, there's no tiebreaker in the final, so if you get the same score, you share them in. So, oh, it exploded in the Russian. Really well to get that under control. Oh, that's wild. How is he staying on? Through the spindle. Surely he's going to run out of steam. But he doesn't. Through the Magyar, back through the Savano. This is a marathon. I don't know where the pommel routine. And he keeps the swing going. That was an exercise in grit and determination. He was not going to let his moment go. Petrov.
Well,
he really had to fight, didn't he, Christine?
yeah, no, he did have to fight, but he was a gritty, determined guy, and he did fight right through to the end.
He started off very well. You know, his basic shear, in with his flare, full spindle. I mean, it started off with lots of promise. Showed great circles on the one handle. Circles on the one handle are a special requirement, so you'll see a lot of gymnasts doing that. Handstand dismount. He travels quite far away from the pommel horse. That could be a deduction, but not be too happy with his form break in the middle. Could cost him.
I guess the trick really is to pack the difficulty into as short a routine as possible, because the longer you stay on there. Here we got rank 7, 15.416. Like he said, Lewis, he's disappointed with that.
Big score, 7th place, 15.416. What a final this has been. Kawai Kamiyama, he has emerged on top of the pile. Amazing routine, stylish and difficult.
And wins Japan's 3rd gold medal of the championships.
Max Whitlock, silver medal. Lewis will be delighted. What do you think, Lewis?
I mean, Max is nowhere near a finished, polished product yet. I mean, he's got so much talent. You know, he's 20 years old, and you know, from now until Rio, we can expect some exciting things. You know, he's come 2nd in his first Worlds after the Olympic Games. What a superstar!
Brilliant. Kawai Kawayama then emerges on top of the pile. Max Whitlock takes a silver medal, which he shares with Daniel Corral-Baron. Hongtail Zhang, brilliant pedigree, but it was only enough to get him in 4th. And some really good work underneath that. What a final.
Well, like Lewis was saying, Max is very young. He posted the most difficult routine in the final. Once he puts some polish on that, he's really going to be a force to be reckoned with. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Brilliant work from young Max Whitlock.
Well, the extraordinary thing is, Kamiyama